Hopefully y'all listening right now, keep it building. I'm loving what I'm hearing, man. Y'all keep it building. Let's go. That's what's up.
See, a lot of people don't understand the distinction between what you was mentioning. You briefly touched on hip-hop and rap. A lot of people don't understand that distinction, but that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to ask you about your thoughts on that later on. But one thing I do want to ask you, oh, man, I forgot.
That's okay.
Forgot the question. You know,
you were talking about how hip hop and rap, and we slightly touched on that subject, and how it's a different conversation. You were going to get into that.
Okay. Now I know what I was going to say.
There you go. Let's go.
Good looking. See, I know you've been doing a lot of traveling and stuff like that.
Yes.
One day I call you. I call this man, or I hit him up on MySpace. He's down in Miami.
Yes.
The next day you're like Los Angeles. I mean, you be going around. How does it feel like going around touring and doing what you do, man?
Well, I've always wanted to do one thing very much so, and that's travel. I mean, travel abroad as well. You know what I mean? Europe, Germany, we talking like Japan, Asia, everywhere, man. I want to be able to experience the world, period. You know, and that's just my manly desire just as a regular human being. But as an artist, I love to travel around to be able to gather more influences and, of course, experience different things and reflect that through my music. Because when I first began as an artist, I used to reflect and kind of recycle what I was listening to in music. But now I'm bringing forth a unique perspective of what I've actually undertaken in my lifetime. Right. So when I move abroad throughout the United States and I'm traveling to these different places, not only do I get to see what the other artists are doing in terms of like their hustle and maybe their music, it gives me something different to bring forth when I talk about it in my music. Because sometimes if you limit yourself and are contained by that which you contain, what I mean by that, if you're like, oh, it's all about the shy, and you limit yourself to trying to take over the shy, you're not going to be able to grow and expand yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I rip the shy to the fullest no matter where I go, period. Right. So there's no question about my integrity on that. Right. But I want to be able to experience a lot more than just the shy. You know what I'm saying? And bring that forth from my music. So that's very important. I mean, like, experiencing different things, man, and being able to reflect that in your sound, for real.
For sure. There was a rumor going around that you was doing some work with Pitbull, man. How true is that?
Yeah, you know, it was funny because I actually entered a contest. I was also featured in the Sun Times, and I won a contest called Cuervoton, which is a reggaeton competition. Mm-hmm. I'm primarily hip-hop. It just so happens that I can speak Spanish, so I do a little bit of English, a little bit of Spanish. I flip it up like that, and just diversity. It's common economics, you know what I mean? Like, if you could sell insurance to people who speak English and you're good at that, then that's great. But if you can sell insurance to people who speak Spanish, you automatically done doubled your sales potential. Right. So what I'm doing with that is I did a little reggaeton competition, and I ended up for the first time, ironically enough, was at the House of Blues, where I opened up for Notch, guys like Chingo Bling, Pitbull, Tony Touch, so on and so forth. So I'm finally, you know, getting my just desserts in terms of the work ethic that I put forth. Anybody could attest to that. If you see me on the streets, I'm steady grinding. And if you haven't seen me on the streets hard, that means I'm grinding in another way, and that's on the on the studio side. You know what I mean? So keep your eyes open and your ears peeled. That's, you know, I see how I reverse that on you.
Let me ask you a question, man. What do you think of the Latino representation in hip hop, man? Like, what do you think the Latinos are going with the hip hop these days?
Well, you know, it's dope because, like, you know, hip hop for Latinos, we've been there since the beginning. Right. I mean, this is 30 years in the making, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Over 30 years in the making. And when you look back and you check the history books, you know, it's not only black, it's not only white, Latin. You know what I'm saying? It's primarily black and Latin. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to a lot of the original hip hop artists from the East Coast, where hip hop was born, you know, they big up a lot of black and Latino. This is not to take away from any other of the culture's influence on hip hop. I want to say that hip hop is very diverse, and I also recognize everybody's contribution to hip hop. But when it comes down to it, I was asked a question. It's funny. They were like, so what's good, you know, before reggaeton really hit? We're talking about like the late 90s. Some of my guys, because I was listening to reggaeton back then, but it wasn't as in the forefront as it is now. Right. And one of my guys asked me, he was like, so what's good? You know, what's up with Latins and hip hop? And I'm like, you know, outside of Big Pun and Fat Joe, you know, where are they at? And I was like, you know, we bubbling in the cut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, right now we just enjoying the other facets of hip hop. At that time, you know, we had predominant Latin presence in breaking and, of course, graph and writing. You know what I'm saying? So we got other facets of hip hop and DJing that we also, you know, dominate. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. But when it comes down to Latin hip hop, we've always had that. It just took a little bit of time for them to grow onto the mainstream. Now you got reggaeton. It's kind of a forum for them to be able to express themselves in a Caribbean sound. Because as you know, reggae is a Caribbean sound. You got the Latinos, the Puerto Ricans, who are also Caribbean. So it's easy for them to kind of combine those two styles, bring the hip hop flavor, style, flow in Spanish onto the kind of Caribbean and reggae dancehall beats. So it's just instant flavor, man. It's just fire. So when you get to the club, that's what it is, man. You got reggaeton, you got some crunk.
I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right.
It's crazy.
Let me ask you something else, man. Where have you performed at around the shop, or just in general? You know what I mean?
Oh man, the list goes on and on. Let me just say, the only places that I haven't performed at have been the Aragon. Let me see. I haven't performed at Chromium, ironically enough.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's strange.
I've been on the stage and I was about to jap out, but some dude was like, yo, don't do it right now. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I respect it. I don't want to push myself. Before I was very eager and I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to have that mic.
Right.
Now I have so many ample opportunities to grab a mic, not only as an MC, as a lyricist, but as a host. As you see, you know what I'm saying? You see me on Second Thursdays, Wild Hair holding it down, doing a thing. LJ be holding it down. I see him too. So, we always grinding. I see this cat.
It's funny you mentioned the wild hair, because it was a freshman girl who I told her I was going to have PRism on my show. Yeah. And she was just like, that's the dude from the wild hair, ain't it? That's the dude from the wild hair. Well, yeah, baby, he's here. You know what I mean? And for all you listeners out there who want to contact PRism, or, just request a song, hit us up at 773-325-7341. Right about now, we're going to, pay some bills real quick and get to these commercials and everything. But we'll be back with PRism Radio. PRism Radio up here at Radio DePaul, PRism 101.
I'm a wild one right now. Let's go. Chi-Town. You know how we do.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah.
The demon of the airwaves. It's WRDP, Chicago.
Come on, DJ Joker, hidden talent. Look at the wisdom, got to shout it.
The demon of the airwaves.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? This is your boy LJ.
Oh man, I just wanted to say a big shout out to Wild Ones LJ. That was the very first time right here, right now. Reggaeton has been played on the station via PRism, holding it down.
For sure.
What's good? We got somebody on the phone lines?
Yeah. Yo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's good?
I could barely hear you, ma. Let me see if we could raise you up on the phone. All right, may I ask who's speaking? Monica, how are you, Monica? What you doing?
Child infant.
Excuse me?
AKA infant child.
Oh, what's good? AKA, I see you. Oh man, we over here just doing our thing, man, with reggaeton. This is the first time that we ever put reggaeton right now on Radio.depaul, man, and it's an exciting moment. That's a milestone right there.
Hey, sweetie.
That's right, reggaeton.
Hey, sweetie, you like what you're hearing so far?
I love what I'm hearing.
That's what's up.
Is the best thing out of Humble Park,
Man. That's what's up. You representing
for all the PRs,
You representing Humble Park?
Yeah, I am. Puerto Rican too.
No doubt.
Holding it down.
Much love. PRism PRism getting all the love. PRism. That's what's up.
I appreciate it too, because I definitely recognize a lot of Humble Park artists, and for you to say that says a lot. I appreciate it because it manifests through the music. That's what's up. Muchos besos. Abrazos.
Abrazos.
Hey, sweetie, you got any questions for PRism or anything?
On his album, Take Notes, there's a song called Llora.
Yeah.
It's very short, and I wanted to know if you plan to make a longer version of that.
That's a good question. Abi Cruz produced that track. Abi Cruz is the gentleman who not only made the beat, but he is doing the chorus on that particular track. And I want to say it's safe to say, with his permission, I would love to write another verse to Llora. I kept it short and sweet, just like Fuego and just like Slippin', the two songs that you heard earlier, because I like my songs to be in the mix and be in and out, be powerful, make that message felt, and we moving on to the next track. So Llora, I agree, it felt very short to me, and it's so real. It's so, it brought me into it.
It's his home, that song his home.
Man, I feel that track a lot, and I know that it took me into a different direction. If you notice on that song, I'm singing a little bit. So, with the melodic qualities to the track and the artist that I'm working with, it brought me into that type of field. So I would definitely love to create a little bit something and kind of refresh Llora for the album release. And when you're listening to that on the mixtape, PRism Mix Volume 3, these are all songs that are going to be on the album, but the album is going to be recorded, refreshed. There's going to be some new touches to it, and it's going to sound so much better.
For sure. I can't wait for that to come out.
Awesome. You know how we're going to do. We're going to put it down like that, for real.
For sure. Sweetie, you said you had a request.
Yeah, I wanted to hear So Ill.
So Ill?
So Ill, straight out of Illinois.
We're going to hook that up.
Yes.